affordable for Canadians, Mr. Speaker.
Excellent.
The honourable member for Calgary Forest Lawn.
Liberals continue to throw fuel on the inflationary fire and caused home heating costs to go up. Instead of addressing the real issue, Liberals are spending $250 million to make Canadians buy heat pumps they can't even use this winter season. Today we learned that this government will impose its crippling carbon tax on all Atlantic provinces, forcing families to take a heating pump handout instead of letting Canadians choose what works best for their own homes. Why won't this Liberal government do the right thing, get out of the way, and axe a carbon tax on home heating?
The Honourable Minister of Natural Resources.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we've said many times in this House, addressing climate change is an existential threat to the future of the human race and certainly is of critical importance to our children and our grandchildren. But we must do so in a manner that addresses the affordability issues and that actually has a plan for creating a prosperous future in a lower carbon environment. We have put into place a number of measures, not simply the $250 million we announced with respect to heat pumps, which is very important, but the Green Buildings Program and a whole range of other things that are ensuring that Canadians can make the transition in an affordable way. Climate change is real. We need to fight it with thoughtful and effective plans.
Honourable member for Calgary Forest Lawn.
Well, they failed on the climate and the economy. And what the minister fails to acknowledge is the government has failed to hit a single climate target, failed to lower emissions, failed to deliver a real plan, and ranked 58 out of 63 on their failed carbon scheme. Their only answer is a tax plan. Canadians are out of money, and this out-of-touch government thinks heating pumps are going to save them. Contrary to what the finance minister wants us to believe, the carbon tax isn't helping anyone, and neither is cancelling Disney Plus subscriptions. So again, why won't the Liberal government get out of the way and axe a carbon tax on home heating?
The Honourable Minister.
I think it'd be important to remember that less than 2 years ago, the Conservative Party voted that climate change wasn't even real. Then last year, the leadership of the Conservative Party decided that it indeed was real, and that brought forward a campaign platform that it had at least a weak climate plan, the centerpiece of which was putting in place a price on pollution. All of the Conservative members in this House were elected on that platform. And now, once again, they don't talk about climate change, and they attack the idea of of pricing pollution. I would say, how can you believe anything these folks say?
The Honourable member for Haldimand Norfolk.
The snow is here. And the calls are coming in across the country from families who are wearing their winter coats inside their homes just to keep warm and save money on heating costs. The temperatures are dropping across the country and home energy bills are rising. Many Canadians are faced with the horrible choice of having to cut back meals and turn down their heat in their homes just to get through this winter. Will the Liberal government do the right thing and cancel the carbon tax on home heating?
The Honourable Minister of Families.
Speaker, my honourable colleague talks about some of the difficult choices that Canadians have to face. And on this side of the House, we understand that. That's why we've been there continuously for the last 7 years to help Canadians in need. Now, my honourable colleague in her caucus has a chance today to support the fall economic statement that would help Canadian families with the enhanced Canada Worker Benefit that's going to come 4 times a year as opposed to once a year. Will help students with eliminating permanently the interest on the federal portion of their student loans. Mr. Speaker, if they really do care about Canadians, I hope they demonstrate it today by voting in favour of initiatives that will support them.
Honourable member for Haldimand Norfolk.
There are at least 1 million Canadians that will go without heating their homes this winter. The Liberals don't have an environmental plan. They have a tax plan. They have not met one single environmental target. The Liberals' irresponsible and reckless spending is the cause of this inflationary nightmare. And now they plan to tax their way out of this mess on the backs of Canadians. The people who are least able to afford it will be punished by this tax. Will the Liberals finally admit that they were wrong and cancel this cruel inflationary carbon tax on heating?
Hear, hear. The Honourable Minister.
It's cruel, Mr. Speaker. What's cruel is talking about the spending that we did in the pandemic that supported millions of Canadians. The Canada Emergency Response Benefit helped millions of Canadians. The Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy helped millions of Canadians. Mr. Speaker, we were there for Canadians in their time of need, and we continue to be there. What we haven't seen is the Conservative Party of Canada and their members of Parliament be there to support Canadians. But I hope that they decide today to do the right thing, to be there to help the most vulnerable and support the fall economic state.
L'honorable député de Bellechasse.
The Honourable Member for Bellechasse-les-Échemins-Lévis. Mr. Speaker, this holiday season is looking melancholy for Canadians. With food prices reaching record highs, tables are likely to be bare. With gas prices at record highs, some families will have to give up on visiting their loved ones. Add to that the cost of heating, which is skyrocketing. That's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Will this government follow our recommendation and remove the carbon tax from residential heating bills in this country? The Honourable Minister of Tourism. Mr. Speaker, we have a strong plan to meet the needs of Canadians exactly when they need it. In less than an hour, the Conservatives can vote with us to cancel interest on student loans, double the GST credit, and also reduce taxes for SMEs. Mr. Speaker, they can help Canadians buy their first home. But I'm guessing that they're going to vote against that. The Honourable Member for Bellechasse-les-Échemins-Lévis. My colleagues should stop playing petty politics and instead show some compassion, Mr. Speaker. We want action now, not costly solutions that will take months. I'm repeating the demand that our leader and all my Conservative colleagues have been making. Will this government give Canadians a break by removing the carbon tax from their home heating bills? It's so simple and clear. The Honourable Minister.
Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, this weekend in Edmonton, Mike and Laurie approached me at the All Is Bright Festival to thank our government for having cut childcare costs in half, because that is helping them pay their bills. Mr. Speaker, Brad asked when he will be getting his $500 to help with his housing. The answer is the check will be sent out because we did our homework. If Conservatives want to show some compassion, they can vote with us today. The Honourable